We doing this? We doing this? We doing this? Let's
No.
do this. Are we doing this?
No, I don't want to do
We
it.
doing this?
No.
No? You
No.
don't want to do this?
No.
I want to do this. I'm going to do this. This
iPod.
week, some students, some high school students, recently hacked an ATM machine. The bank's response was surprisingly reasonable, actually. Comcast, my Wi-Fi hotspot, something I'm perfectly sure they'll compensate you for accordingly. And one of our hosts is missing for perfectly reasonable reasons. Find out what those are and why Feedly isn't working right now, because my name is Justin Bott, and you're listening to Make Use of Technophilia. Keep doing that. Not with me today from the UK, as usual, is Mr. James Bruce, but there's a pretty good reason for this. I think he's had a son last night, so he's not going to be around. He'll be around next week. We'll hear all about that. But we needed to get a British replacement to keep the balance of the show in place. So with me today from the UK is a Led Zeppelin enthusiast and security expert here at MakeUseOf.com, Christian Colley. How's it going?
Hello, I'm alright, how are you?
Oh, not bad, not bad. And also with me from Connecticut, as always, is Dave LeClaire. How's it going?
I must admit that I'm not a big Led Zeppelin fan.
No? No?
No, I think it's.
Are we gonna...
I'm not a fan of what's his face's voice.
Robert Plant.
Yeah, yeah.
That would limit the appeal for you, wouldn't it?
I appreciate the music of Led Zeppelin. I just kind of wish I could listen to everything in an instrumental, which they mostly are instrumental anyway. But
Well, hey, I've got a really cool mashup of Helter Skelter by the Beatles and Whole Lot of Love, and it sounds absolutely amazing. It's that good I said it's my ringtone.
Did you do it yourself, or where'd you find that?
An actor friend of mine sent me it on Facebook, so I've saved it as my ringtone.
oh, good. Well, share it on like my Facebook. I would like to listen to that.
I will share it. I will share
Put
it.
it in the chat room right now.
Or just
also
put it
with
in the chat room. Yeah.
as I forgot to say, is the chat room. We've got a few active people there, so we're going to have a good show. We're going to do this. Top story this week, Feedly is being held hostage. If you're trying to look at your RSS feed right now to, I don't know, find stories to mention during your technology podcast, you can. And it's worth noting just because apparently criminals are doing a distributed denial of service attack, and they're trying to extort Feedly, like pay us and then we'll stop and then you can keep using your site, which would be stupid for them to pay. They obviously need to fix this. If you pay one extortionist, you're just going to end up with more people extorting you, right? So they're taking their time. Lots of people are freaking out that they can't get in, but you know what? They're not Google. They don't have unlimited resources like they did to run Reader. So I think they're handling it pretty well. I just wish it was back a little sooner. What kind of defenses, Christian, can you put up to stop a DDoS attack? I've always been a little unclear on this. I just know that there's magic people you can pay to fix it. How does that work?
Yeah, there's magic. You can use the magic people, or you can turn everything off, disconnect from the internet completely.
Mm-hmm.
You can play around with IP addresses.
Okay.
That kind of thing. I'd stick with the magic people, to be honest with you.
Okay, so tell me about these magic people. How does that work? What do they do?
They live in little glass houses. No. At the bottom of your garden. No. Well, obviously we're talking about security experts here who,
yeah.
you know, that is their thing, and they're a specific company. I mean, you don't want to go for someone who's just going to come along and say, "Hello, I'm going to stop you getting the DDoS."
Mm-hmm,
You need to go for a specific expert in that field. Yeah,
well, you got to find your post, and you have to determine who's the DDoS and not. You have to determine who's DDoSing and who's just trying to use your site, right?
Exactly. You need to distinguish between the source and the source of the attack and the genuine users. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, so for those who don't know what a DDoS is, sorry for not explaining this, it's called a distributed denial of service attack. And basically, you might be treated to taking Feedly down right now without realizing it, because what's called a botnet, which is just a series of infected computers, usually Windows ones, are trying to just connect to Feedly again and again and again right now, and that's causing so much traffic that the site just flat out goes down. That's the essence of it, right, Christian?
Yes.
So the tricky thing with this is it's hard to see who's like a regular user just trying to use the site and who's just got a computer that's being controlled by malware.
Yeah. I mean, there's different ways to do it. I mean, a hardware firewall But I mean, it depends on your setup, and it depends, on your host and who your host is and what they're prepared to do and how much they're going to charge you for it. If you could use a hardware firewall, that would help. Like WordPress, there's a login tool that will stop a DDoS by every attempt to fake login will take longer and longer and longer. And some DDoS is coming via that attack route, so that's another way of stopping it. I don't know if we have that. I don't know if we use that, but I use that on my sites.
Seems like the easiest way is just to go to their house and beat them up.
Well, if you know where they live, yeah.
Well, whose house do you go to?
The people who are hacking you. I mean, I assume they're a bunch of like scrawny little nerds. You just go to their house, beat them up, boom, you got your website back.
Probably.
Well, they probably have, but they might be Russian gangsters as well. So.
Oh, it could be. I didn't think about the Russian
Probably
gangsters.
Vladimir Putin. Yeah, yeah. Russian hackers are another story completely, aren't they? They all work out when they're not hacksoring. So it's a little different.
They're also professional mixed martial artists in addition to being professional hacksaws.
All of them. Every single hacker. That's like our new ethnic stereotype of the day. Ethnic stereotype of the day.
It's the new thing we're doing here.
What? Yeah. Yeah. Oh man, we're gonna get canceled. Moving right along. An ISP owner, specifically the owner of Sonic.net, which is a regional ISP in California, has basically gone on the record saying that all bandwidth limits are artificial. If anyone's telling you that they need to limit how much speed you get or they need to limit how much bandwidth you can use, they're doing that more or less to make money, which shouldn't surprise anyone. I mean, that's kind of what the deal is here. But with the net neutrality conversation, we're being told again and again that there's a limited amount of tubes, and they're filling up because of all the Netflixes. And we need to make people pay for bigger tubes. And it seems like the whole thing is just nonsense. Do you get a sense that this guy's full of crap, Dave?
Of course. No, he's not full of crap. But of course it's artificial. They just want to make more money off of you and the companies that they're holding hostage. So they're like, hey, yeah, you're using too much. I mean, I assume there is a finite amount of internet bandwidth out there in the world. I assume that. I don't know that for sure, but I don't think that we're hitting that amount.
Yeah. You only have to look at Comcast. Go ahead, Christian.
Well, no, I was just going to say, I mean, there probably is a big chunk of it, but then again, the security services, they're also using their fair share. Are they getting charged for Netflix? Are
the security services?
Yeah. Come on, stop. These people are trying to put the extra burden onto like standard user. I mean, in the UK, you probably know this. James has probably said, we don't really have this problem because if we want to use Netflix, it's kind of bundled into other services anyway. So we're not finding that we're having to pay extra. We've got our own problems with censorship and what have you. But it strikes me that in the USA, you've got this happening, and then you've got this big chunk of the internet being used for other purposes. So ISP should be pointing their guns at the government and saying, come on, pay us more. You're using all this bandwidth to spy on, make use of podcasts and things,
Yeah.
Eating into our bandwidth.
Well, it's a little different. I mean, we talked this last week. The ISPs are basically charging you for the last mile of your internet connection, right? Mm-hmm. Most of what we think of as the internet is out there, irrespective of Comcast, whoever you're paying to get access to it. And most of the transfer actually happens outside of Comcast's network, right? You're paying them to just connect to this broader system that exists outside of them, right? So what they're saying is that their limited part of the system has limits, right? Yeah. And they're saying they need to find a way to charge more for it. Now to me, if Netflix isn't running well, whoever my ISP just isn't doing their job, and I should find a new ISP. I mean, that's how it works ideally in a capitalist marketplace. In the States, though, there's just nowhere else I can go to find someone else who works. So the real thing is we need increased competition. But in the absence of that,
an ISP.
We should just start an ISP.
Yeah.
Technophilia SP. Just throw ISP on the end.
We're just going to do a Kickstarter, and we want to start an ISP. We need $1 trillion to put wires all throughout America.
Yeah, and then people will back it.
Yeah.
The thing is, the only thing that will be served via this ISP is just episodes of Technophilia and make use of our...
No. We'll serve other things, but like...
But they have to pay a premium.
Some ISPs do this thing when if you type something that's not a domain name, instead of doing the normal error page, it just redirects to their search results, which are crap.
Yeah.
We'll do that, except instead of redirecting to search results, it'll just go to make use of Technophilia podcast, and that'll be it.
We are going to be so rich.
We're going to be, yeah, it's going to be incredible.
But I had a better idea. We could start the Kickstarter, but then just not make the ISP and just have $1 trillion.
I can see the dollar signs in front of your eyes already. It's a convincing case.
I'm a marketing genius.
I'm being asked in the chat room, is Comcast a government business of the USA? Well, I could see why you'd expect that if you're in Belgium, like the person asking is. But no, it's a private company that spends as much on lobbying as any company besides ExxonMobil. So like only big oil is beating them in terms of spending money on trying to influence the government.
And I feel like big oil is like less douchey than Comcast.
It's quite distinct, yeah. They flooded the Gulf Coast with oil, but at least they're not trying to charge us extra to watch shows that aren't on NBC.
Faux shizzle. So we should jump to this story about Verizon and Netflix having beef because it fits with this with this theme. I was trying to put it out of order order, but Google Docs was being stupid, so just whatevs, bro.
As the net neutrality debate, ISPs are claiming, look, it's just that Netflix is using up too much of our bandwidth. We can't afford to give you Netflix faster unless they pay us. Netflix is fighting back. Apparently, if you're a Verizon user and you were having trouble looking at a video, a little message would pop up and say, hey, Verizon's slow today. It's not our fault. We're doing what we can. And this pissed Verizon off. I think they actually sued them, didn't they, Dave? Am I right there?
They sent them a cease and desist letter saying, stop fucking doing that.
Yeah.
And then Netflix said no. They very much are like, no, we're going to stop being dicks, and we will stop doing that. Yeah. So this is probably going to go to court. I don't think that Verizon's
it's probably going to go to
say,
court.
Okay, then keep doing it. You know, they're going to keep fighting it. So
there was another study that revealed the absolute best service in the U.S. for getting Netflix. I forget which company it was and which area, but like the absolute best connection you can get isn't as good as the worst connection you can get in the Netherlands. So like you could be living in small town Netherlands and paying for the cheapest connection possible, and you're getting better access to Netflix than you are if you're paying for the best possible connection in the United States. So, but the cable companies are saying this isn't our fault. This isn't us. It's Netflix. Netflix is killing us. But everywhere else in the world, people pay less for a better connection. So what's going on? Why is America so special? What's the problem here?
I feel like the real problem is
because there's no
afraid of Netflix, because Netflix now is all of a sudden putting out like quality TV shows that are not available on cable, and it's almost like they're trying to kill Netflix because not only are they putting out, you know, they're using their bandwidth or whatever they're actually saying, but they're also a threat to like the traditional cable model in general. You know?
I don't think they're trying to kill
TV, and they're refusing to roll over and die, aren't they? That's what they're doing. They're fighting back.
So the problem is that it's the same company that's providing people with antiquated technology known as television. Now, television, if you're not aware, is something old people used to watch Jeopardy at 7 every night. It's kind of like internet video, but instead of going over the internet, it goes directly through broadcast cables specifically dedicated for serving up video directly. But you can't watch it whenever you want to. You have to watch it at set scheduled times. Now, this is extremely annoying. This is extremely annoying, so a lot of people set up their own individual hard drives in their home to record shows, like, all on their own, which is a completely ludicrous system. Why should everyone have to own their own hard drive when everything can just be on the web and you can watch it whenever you want? So yeah, TV is this really old-fashioned thing that people used in the 90s and the early 2000s. And that's what they're trying to protect, is this outdated model that doesn't make sense in a world where it's possible for me to watch any show I want whenever I want to just by typing a few. I mean, that's the world they're afraid of. And they want to turn Netflix, which is this revolutionary new thing, into just another TV channel that you have to pay for as part of a bundle. Yeah, they'll let Netflix get the $10 a month from subscribers, but they also want to make sure that if you're paying for Comcast Internet, you're paying for the Comcast bundle. You're paying for the little Comcast boost there. And speaking of this, BitTorrent made a great Join the Fastlane parody page. You can find it at jointhefastlane.com. BitTorrent, the company behind uTorrent and most of the BitTorrent clients, made that. You should just check this out, Dave. You got this open?
Do I have to watch it right now?
It's not a video. It's just a page explaining.
The page. Okay.
It kind of looks like Comcast's page, and it's just like, hey, if you pay extra, you can get the gaming package, and it's really funny. It says like a little stars at it, and it's like gaming package only works with PC and Nintendo gaming, Xbox 360, and PlayStation 4 not supported. And like it's just this nonsense control over the internet. That should just be, I'm paying for internet access. Now I get internet access. This is kind of the vision that I see them having. They want us paying for specific sites the way we pay for cable bundles now.
I like their fake website. Man. Their fake website names Root.com and Google services. Camify.com, Movieflix, Macrosoft.
If you pay the $250 a month platinum package, you get access to Rootit.com and other social services.
I need my Rootit.
Gotta check Rootit. They got Foxy News. You can access. Yeah, I kind of think this is the long-term vision. They want us thinking of the internet not as a you pay for one thing and you get the whole package, and more as a you pay for certain sites and you get everything by default. But if you want it to not be mind-numbingly slow, you have to pay more. That's what they're picturing, and this is not.
That's like I don't know if it's the same for you. I mean, it's a cable or TV, or Sky TV package, isn't it? Essentially, you instead of getting channels, you're getting X sites and then like a default group.
Yeah. I think that's the vision that they're picturing here, and it absolutely cannot be allowed to happen. No one likes cable companies, but people give them money because they feel like they have to. Now, I don't pay for cable myself. And I've found legal ways to watch all the hockey games I want. I've found legal ways to watch all the shows that I want. It's not that hard if you have a little bit of patience, you know? And you end up paying a lot more per month. I probably pay maybe $15 a month. Anyways, it's perfectly possible. And people are starting to catch on to this, and the internet companies want to stop it. There's a conversation in the chat room right now about how in Belgium the government owns half of the ISP. So it has to be nice or taxpayers will complain. I don't know if that could work here because people hate the government so much, but it certainly would be interesting. Now what is happening is a lot of, not the national government, but a lot of towns are starting to just start their own internet company just on their own. And because of Comcast lobbying saying it's illegal for towns to start their own internet. So that's a lot of levels here. Comcast is spending it in their best interest, which is understandable. But let's not make this the bitching about Comcast hour. I think we're done with that. We've reached our quota for this month. If you're playing the Technophilia drinking game at home, you're probably...
Wait, but there's another...
so we jumped to BitTorrent. We're going to go...
We should just get it out of the way.
There's another Comcast story? Where? Oh, yeah.
Comcast turning routers into public Wi-Fi hotspots.
Yeah, so we've talked about this before. So Comcast sells routers, or not sells, they rent them to you for $10 a month. I'm sorry, I forgot. I did explain to my ISP, which isn't Comcast, that I have my own Wi-Fi router and I don't want to pay $10 a month for the Wi-Fi capability. And they were just like, no, but then you can use internet all over your house. And I'm, no, I have a router. I'm not renting. I bought it for $30 and now I'm done. Oh, but don't you want Wi-Fi in your house? They really feed on the ignorance of people. But anyways, most Comcast routers have the Wi-Fi capability built into the router that you then rent from them. And apparently they're going to be converting these Wi-Fi hotspots in Houston, Texas, into a public spot. So if you have an apartment near Main Street in Houston, I don't know if there's a Main Street in Houston. That's just a series of highways, but whatever. Other Comcast companies could use the internet access you're paying for to get on. So, you know.
It's an opt-out system, not an opt-in system. So you have to...
Yeah. If you do nothing...
Not be included.
If you do nothing, this will happen. You have to opt out, yeah. So, that's interesting.
I feel like Comcast just goes out of their way to make people hate them. They just try to be hated.
I think they don't care that they're hated because in most places there's no competition. I mean, why should they care if people dislike them?
They're actually
get this service.
They're actually running ads on YouTube about how it's a whole new Comcast and they're all about customer service now. So I guess they must care a little bit.
Are they owned by Mr. Burns?
It seems like it.
Mr. Burns.
They act like they are, that's for sure.
Yeah, seriously, they really just don't care what anyone thinks. They really don't, and they like changed their name to Xfinity and then pretended like Xfinity was a new thing that they were doing, but it was literally just Comcast. But people didn't like Comcast, so they decided to just go by Xfinity for a little while. Totally confusing. I don't know what they're doing half the time.
Yeah,
they make a lot of money.
Commercials. They put like a little Comcast logo, like on the bottom left of the screen, and a big Xfinity logo, like, hey, we're Xfinity. We're here to shake up the cable industry.
Yeah, we're gonna show those big giants how this is done.
Yeah,
we're the little guy. We're Xfinity.
That happened in the UK.
Just like trying to.
A few years ago,
yeah.
It wasn't the Royal Mail. It was the Post Office rebranded as Consignia for no apparent reason. There was a whole swathe of companies rebranding, giving themselves new names, and the Royal Mail decided to become big band. Was it the Royal Mail? Was it Post Office? Well, they're all part of the same thing. So they rebranded as Consignia, and everyone was like, "What? What the hell does that mean?" And then about 6 months later, they changed their minds, changed it back again.
They just changed it back.
Yeah, they changed it back again. Yeah.
Oh. Amway did the same thing here because everyone figured out that Amway was basically a pyramid scheme, so they operated for a while as something. Quixar, that was it. Oh no, this isn't Amway, it's this trendy new company that's really changing it up. It's all internet-based. It's fantastic. And then later they just realized, everyone figured it out. It's Amway. Whatever. Oh. Yeah, rebranding's weird because at some point people are going to you were before, right?
And they're always made up. They're always made up meaningless, sort of, like faceless names as well that they choose.
Yeah, yeah. The ISP that I use, they changed their name to CenturyLink, which you couldn't find a more generic name for an ISP if you tried. Like that just, it means nothing.
No.
We're linking you to the next century, and now most people think of this as the new century, and the previous century is the one that they attach to, so maybe they're linking us to the previous century. Like, I'm just confused, but it's CenturyLink. What does that mean? Or are they linking us to 100 different internetses? Like, I'm just baffled. I'm baffled. Yeah. I think the problem is all the good names have been taken 100 years ago, and now we're left with generic
things. I think the real problem is that you've got, like, you've got brand managers and geniuses in brand management, and they come along and say, "Hey, you need a rebrand. Change your name."
Yeah.
And they come up with these insane names and pay, like for logos for the World Cup or the Olympics. They're paying like £10 million or dollars or whatever for these crazy pieces of artwork. Say, "Hey, there it is," and everyone looking back is going, "What the hell? It's Emperor's New Clothes syndrome, isn't it? It's just madness."
You know who that's extremely profitable for, though? Is the branding experts.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Now you get to design a new logo.
And then 6 months later, they can change it back again. Hey, we need help changing it back. Hey, you come to the right place.
Sorry, that experiment didn't work, but because I'm a consultant, you can't fire me. I'm just going to go do this for someone else now. Yeah, if I worked for you, it would be a problem, but I'm just a consultant, so, I'm going to go do this somewhere else. Yeah. Great fun. Let's move on to the security news. Christian, what do you got for us?
What have I got for you?
You got some OpenSSL things?
Yeah, okay, so we've got a couple of things. The OpenSSL thing in Heartbleed, which everyone watching and listening should probably know about, because, there's passwords that were supposed to be changed, and the news was saying, change your password, and then, oh, hold on, no, don't change them yet, because they might not actually been patched yet, and then you have to change them again, so just hold on. So we thought that had all passed away. It turns out there are more OpenSSL vulnerabilities still coming along, even since the patch. So these are new ones that have occurred since the patch. There's a few older ones as well. The general thing is this isn't going away. There's more and more problems with OpenSSL are going to pop up because, well, hopefully they're going to reduce, because now with Heartbleed, OpenSSL said we need money. Someone give us money. All these big companies are using OpenSSL and not contributing fairly, which is a very fair point, because it was open source software. But it's basically, I wouldn't be surprised if we saw another big one. I'm still to be convinced that eBay wasn't related to it, to be honest with you, because eBay have kept stum since that happened. They haven't said anything. They're not sharing. It's actually a major bugbear of mine that the pro mainstream tech journalist guys have not uncovered what went on with eBay yet.
Yeah, no one knows really. They just know that they announced something that was wrong.
Yeah.
So you think that might be like some OpenSSL bug that no one knows about yet?
Well, they said it was 2 months ago, didn't they? And that times in with the OpenSSL thing. So I wouldn't rule it out. But generally, the story here is OpenSSL vulnerabilities are still out there, and there are new ones popping up. So it's not something to over. Don't think that Heartbleed is gone. Heartbleed itself might have gone, but the root cause and all the other vulnerabilities attached to OpenSSL could cause problems.
So what does this mean for normal people? What should we do?
For normal people, it means basically keeping an eye on security alerts, paying attention, not getting wound up, not letting the press wind you up into changing password or panicking or doomsday scenarios, but being aware that this is a thing that is used widely across the internet by companies that do have the resources to build their own more secure systems, but potentially. I don't want to beat down on OpenSSL because it's been hugely successful and widely used for a very good reason.
And notably maintained by very few people. Much.
Yeah, it's like 3 people and a sausage dog called Colin or something. Yeah.
So you can't really blame them for everything. And I think it was an outside contributor that caused the heartbeat log. It was contributed at like 1 on New Year's Day, 1 in the morning on New Year's Day. So like there's a lot of weirdness around this whole thing.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? They do have more resources now. Hopefully, if there is something else, they will patch it before it becomes widely known. Yep. That's got to be the hope, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been enjoying your security coverage on the site, and apparently readers have been too. So because you're not inducing panic for the sake of getting page views, you're just trying to explain what's going on and what people can do about it in a way that anyone can understand, but still useful if you're like technically savvy.
Yeah.
So if you want like a no-nonsense place, you can make use of the security section for that. I think you've been doing a pretty good job with that, Christian.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, there's no point panicking people if they're already panicked, is there?
Yeah, I mean, we can trust on the Fox Newses and the Sky Newses of the world to get people to panic and not explain what you can do, right? So, no need for us to be adding to that, but there's stuff you can do to protect yourself, and it's usually not that complicated. What do you think of two-factor authentication? Because I keep thinking, like, if you had that turned on, there
yeah, well, it's a massive assistance. It's a massive bonus, but everyone should be using it. It's a case of whether or not you find it convenient or not, and whether or not you feel personally that it makes you more secure. Yeah. In the situation when we've got problems like OpenSSL and Heartbleed, or OpenSSL vulnerabilities, maybe like Heartbleed, then you should be using 2FA. But it just depends how comfortable you are with it. Whether you feel comfortable getting using your mobile phone app or an email message or whatever to do it.
Yeah. I would recommend, if nothing else, use two-factor authentication for your address, because if people have access to your email, they have access to everything.
Yeah.
Like once someone has access to your email, all they need to do is hit forgot password on any site that you use, and it'll go there. So that's the big thing. Scudderman is saying, I think a lot of people believe that cryptography is so complicated to contribute. I think that's true. I think people just find this incredibly abstract, and they're not sure quite what to make of it, if you know what I'm saying, when a threat like this comes out. So most people just try not to think about it because they don't know what to. Yeah. Moving right along, you've got Microsoft. You'd what? You wouldn't disagree?
I wouldn't disagree with that.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't know. I'm not going to. I should have just kept quiet because I've got nothing to say.
That's fair enough.
Sorry.
Moving right along, Microsoft is apparently plugging vulnerabilities in Windows 8 and not doing so in Windows 7. Wait, I thought Windows 7 was supported for like 5 more years. What's going on here?
What is going on, indeed? We don't really know. It's been the reporting on this is minimal. Found it on Beta News and a couple of other places, but more or less they're all parroted in the same line. There's an example. Apparently, 50% of PC users are on Windows 7, just 12% are on Windows 8, and Microsoft are leaving holes for zero-day attacks by choosing to prioritize the patching on Windows 8.
So these patches will get to Windows 7 eventually, but they're doing 8 first.
They're doing 8 first, yeah. And
isn't that just giving a playbook to hackers who want to know what to exploit 7?
Totally.
Yeah. So
it's madness. Is that not? I'm not an expert on this sort of thing. So, is that not kind of like a big red flag for loads of people to group together saying we got this zero-day exploit? It infected our PCs. We lost loads of money and take out some sort of class action against Microsoft.
They might be able to if this is true, and I haven't seen much reporting on this until you pointed it out to me this morning, Christian. But it's at betanews.com right now, and could there be a class action? I mean, they're basically pointing out here's how to hack 50% of computers on the planet. So maybe I don't know. We'll see if some big company gets exploited because of it. I mean, are these major things that could give someone full access?
Well, as I say, the reporting on it's minimal, which is why we haven't really looked at it on make use of and sort of maybe addressed how to deal with it, because it's 2 or 3 places talking about it, and they're all saying the same thing. So unless there's more detail comes along about it, it's going to be very difficult to say.
So Scudderman is saying in the chat room, Microsoft pulled an Apple. Then they dropped support for a system silently.
Potentially,
Maybe.
Yeah, potentially.
Maybe. I don't know. That would kind of freak me out. But they can't do that because they promised security updates through a certain year. I can't remember right now. I believe it's 2017.
I think 17.
Yeah, it's at least 2017. I can't remember exactly.
But I don't think they've pulled it. I think they're just prioritising Windows 8. It seems to be they're prioritising Windows 8 because you've got this other thing with Windows 8, haven't you? Where is it this week where you have to upgrade to Windows 8.1, otherwise you can't upgrade again or something? These messages are popping up.
Yeah, well, so with Windows XP, right, you could get Service Pack 1, and then you needed that to get Service Pack 2, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But you could download a pack that would have both. I think they're just not going to offer the pack that has both, so you have to do it in order.
Yeah.
So there's answers.
I was really annoying.
Windows 8, right?
2007. What?
Just buy
you have
Windows
to buy
8.
Windows 8?
That's the solution. That's the only reasonable solution.
I guess so. Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
We'll see. Sharia law will fix everything, says Bin Laden in the chat room. It's kind of weird today. I don't know what's going on, but Bin Laden, he's not happy with us for some reason. Probably because he's been dead. Yeah.
Yeah,
that's Sharia law will fix everything.
Is Bin Laden being harassed?
Who joined our chat room? Well, no, it can't be Barack. Yeah, it's not Dave Barack. I don't know.
Bro.
We'll see. If you are Bin Laden, I'm a little weirded out because you should be dead.
Well, there was other.
Moving
on.
He
was from a big family, wasn't he? He might be another Bin Laden. It might be Joey Bin Laden.
That's true. It just says Mr. Bin Laden. So
it
probably Joey.
But a couple of aren't particularly religious, if I recall. I mean, it's a huge family. So yeah, not sure.
There you go.
Hey, this is the wrong story. Let's move right along and skip this one, okay? Because I don't have the link here. Some high school students have hacked in Edmonton an ATM. They just looked up instructions online for hacking an ATM and managed to get in. It was apparently the default password. I want to thank Pierre Le Topo on Twitter for sending this our way, by the way. And then they just put a message on the screen that says, this ATM's been hacked. You might not want to use it. And the bank found out what was up. They asked the kids in, and they asked the kids how they got in, and then they fixed the security of the ATM using the kids' helpful information. And then, and this is the funny thing, the bank gave them a note, because they did this during their lunch break at high school. They gave them a note to teachers, please excuse Mr. Caleb Turon and Matthew Hewlett for being late during their lunch hour, because they were assisting BMO with security. So how great is that? Instead of being a total dick to these kids and being mad at them, they just, hey, thanks for helping. Thanks for making this more secure. Pointing out how easy it is to get in. Now it's a little disturbing how easy it was for them to get in, but I got to give points to the Bank of Montreal for being this awesome about it. Dave?
Well, there you go. You got to do it. You got to get them kids in them hacking early, because that's how they get good at it. Then you just
that's how they're going to bring around the worldwide revolution through hacking. That's how it's going to happen. So yeah, good for them. Power to the people.
It's like real-life Watch Dogs. The kids played too much Watch Dogs, and then they went out and hacked the bank. And now they're going to be like, Watch Dogs made me do it, and then that's it.
They managed to crack the password on the first try because it was using the factory default password. That's just insane to me. This is a machine that literally dispenses money, and they didn't change the password. It's just crazy to think about.
That is
right. They spend so much money on physical security so that you can't just take an axe.
Well, yeah, no, but you think about it. I mean, they're probably just actually just set up by some guy, some fat guy called Joey Bin Laden or something with a disc or USB stick. He just plugs it in, Slipstream installs it, doesn't bother changing the password, then sticks it in the back of his van, takes it to the college and puts it in. Joey doesn't give a damn.
Yeah. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. But you think the ATMs are usually made out of like fortified speech. Oh, do I sound like a robot today, guys?
Yeah, a little bit, yeah. But I'm dealing with it.
Yeah, you've been breaking up a lot.
Doctor Who, I'm used to it, so.
Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, your internet is not being friendly today.
I sound great on my end, so I don't know what it is. Sorry about that, guys.
The interwebs are not happy with you, bro. You've been talking too much shit about
Got a wired
Comcast.
connection and everything. Yeah, I'm not even using Comcast, but they found me. They
found you anyway. They called your ISP and said, hey, this guy's been talking shit about us, and by extension you, we need to cut him down to size.
We never had this problem when we used Skype, though. I'm just saying. Hangouts work because it just goes to YouTube instantly, but Skype
Jess suggested that maybe we should go back to recording our separate audio files, and then for the podcast one, put that out with clean, separate audio files instead of the choppy stuff. But I don't know if James would be willing to do that because he's James.
I agree. It's just a lot of work to edit it, but I think that's going to give the show a big boost.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, because you got to put 3 steps together. Yeah.
I mean, I can't
Sorry about
take
the audio,
that
guys.
longer than just downloading the file. I can't imagine that it would take that much longer for him to put it together. But what do I know?
You just have to layer 3 things together.
We just have to all go like beep at the beginning, so he finds a start point, syncs it up on that, and then boom, done.
I'm completely at a loss as to what I can do to make this better, though.
I think what you should do is just call your internet provider and stab them in the face over the phone.
That's how phones work. It's also not a... Anyways, moving right along, we got the piracy pundit reports. I feel awkward about this because James is the piracy pundit. He put these stories here, right?
Well,
and I'm not as confident as he is. But you know what?
James.
Okay, in honor of his son, we're gonna do this anyways. So popcorn time for music has arrived. It's called hip.
It's hip hop, bro.
So what is this? It's just you type any song and you can listen to it right away.
That's
like
Spotify
what it's for
to be. It's basically Spotify, but with the music all being illegally streamed from torrents instead of instead of being streamed from a legal thing that you pay money for.
I mean, this is kind of weird because you can get all these songs on YouTube already without, making yourself legally vulnerable. So why would you use this? Or Spotify, which is perfectly legal. Like, why would you use something that's going to put your name?
That's a good question. Why would you?
Yeah,
I mean, it makes sense for movies, movies and TV shows because those are not so readily available with a service that costs nothing essentially because you can use Spotify for free with ads. So that does seem a little on the weird side to me.
Yeah, because music's so widely available is the main thing. If nothing else, you could go to Groove Shark right now and get every song ever because they're not legally... That's an illegal service too, but at least you're not streaming it to other people from that,
Yeah.
So I don't know. I guess they're just using the momentum of popcorn time to build something else and just basically say, we can do whatever we want because this is the internet.
Does this article not even have a link to the thing?
They should get on with making a popcorn time that's compatible with the Raspberry Pi.
For the Raspberry Pi.
That's what they should be doing.
What I've been waiting for with popcorn time is a right-click send via AirPlay button to my Apple television, but they don't have that yet, and it makes me sad.
I can understand that.
Oh well.
Yeah.
So the other popcorn time news from James is that they are integrating a built-in VPN into popcorn time.
For free.
For free.
Yeah, so free, yeah.
Hide your IP address and you can popcorn time, I guess, until your heart's content without worrying about getting in trouble.
The only thing you need to worry about then is getting the popcorn, isn't it?
You gotta get that popcorn.
Yeah.
You gotta
There's nothing left to worry about except getting the popcorn.
It occurs to me that if people use this, it's either going to, one, not be free anymore, or two, be so slow as to be useless very, very soon. Because offering a VPN isn't cheap. You're basically, like, I just don't see how this could be offered for free forever. Because if it becomes popular, it's going to become extremely expensive for the person who's running the VPN to do, right? So, interesting. Making it easier and easier to pirate is only going to make it easier and easier for companies like Comcast to argue that we need to be filtering the net. But it's interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
Have you actually used Popcorn Time? I have to admit something. I haven't actually tried it.
Yeah, I have it downloaded and installed it. It's pretty good.
And you used it to watch some Linux distros.
Yes, they were good Linux distros. There was it was called How I Met Your Linux. On the last season of How I Met Your Linux, and it worked perfectly. But the problem is that when you try to stream
the last episode of How I Met Your Linux, or the last release, I guess.
Yeah, it felt super rushed, like they put it out.
Yeah. It was a buggy release, I'd say.
Yeah. But no, but the biggest problem I have with it is that when you use AirPlay mirroring on on an Apple TV to your TV. If you try to use like 1080p video and you use AirPlay mirroring, it kind of like lags and stutters. That's why you need the right-click send via AirPlay, because then it transcodes it and plays it. So that's my only issue with it. But if you do the lower, like the 720p links, it works fine for Linux.
I haven't used it properly. I do have it installed, but I haven't used it properly.
Yeah.
Mainly because I don't kind of like watching movies on my own in my office. It's kind of dull and a bit dull. So I just bought this mini port cable for my Surface Pro to send it to the HDMI TV downstairs. This just came today, so I may also be watching How I Met Your Linux later tonight, or perhaps some sort of action version, such as
How I Met Your Linux
3, or that kind of thing. Captain Linux, the Norwegian soldier, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Perhaps not.
I want to watch that movie, Captain Linux, the Norwegian soldier. That sounds great. Can we make that movie? I'll give you the video bonus on a post. If you make that.
Captain Linux. So you just mentioned a Surface Pro, and no one trolled you for it. I guess that means James isn't here.
James isn't here.
How long have you had? Yeah.
I had it imported by.
How long have you had?
About 3 months ago. It was it's one of those American $300 ones.
Nice. And you like it?
So yeah, I do. Well, I was using the Acer.
Did you use it?
I was using the Acer before that, which is along the same lines. It was Windows 8 tablet. I mean, essentially, it was as powerful. All the graphics aside, it was as powerful as my old tower PC. And I can take it anywhere. I can write anywhere. I've got a standing desk set up, which is up here, with a big monitor, or I can sit down at the little desk down here and take it downstairs or whatever. I can do pretty much anything I want to do. I can play Civilization 5 on it.
Nice.
The world is nice, essentially.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that your primary computer now, the Surface Pro?
Yeah, I don't have another PC now. No.
Huh. So that's actually living up to what it can do, but you can still do tablet-y kinds of things in it. Is it nice playing Civilization with the touchscene? Is that
it is actually, because they built it in, they patched it, and so they built in this touchscreen version when Windows 8 came out. So I can just conquer the world with a few taps. Yeah.
I find gaming on a tablet in general to be crap, but strategy games are a pretty big exception. I find strategy games seem designed for the tablet.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
It's.
They
What do you think, Dave?
Yeah.
I still think mouse is the way to play.
Mouse is the way to play a strategy game.
I just feel like I get the most precision from a mouse, but that's probably just a matter of that I've been using a mouse to do that for since I was a child. Playing Age of Empires.
I've been playing this game called Kingdom Rush on my tablet quite a bit in the past couple months. Just downtime, right? And I just end up wishing I had the precision of a mouse half the time.
Did you say Kingdom Rush?
Yeah, I did.
Fuck that game, man.
Why? I thought you wrote a review of it a year ago and you loved it.
Wait. What am I thinking of? What's that game that always has commercials on TV? Isn't that Kingdom Rush?
No. Kingdom Rush is like a tower defense game.
Oh, okay. Kingdom Rush is great. Sorry, I'm
Yeah.
thinking of what is that game that everybody plays right now? It's like the highest money making game on iPhone.
Candy Crush?
No, not anymore. It's here. I'll tell you right now. It's Clash of
GTA
Clans.
one, right?
Fuck that game. Clash of Clans. That's the one. I hate that game.
That sounds terrible. Well, as long as we're talking
one
about
of those,
gaming,
you
we
know-
might as well move on to the games.
It's one of those you build shit, then you wait like 5 minutes, and then or you can pay money to build shit faster. You know. Yeah. Fuck that game. Anyway. So the
Yeah, I
gaming
think keyboard
news.
and mouse is the best way to control stuff, but maybe I'm old-fashioned. And people are playing different games because they're playing on a tablet. And there are games that do work well on a tablet, and I think strategy is one of the genres that does work well. First-person shooter is not. Holy crap, that's a mess. They try to do it. It just doesn't work.
Yeah, the little
Anyways,
Halo
moving right
game
along.
that they released on Windows 8 is okay as well.
Yeah. But you have to make it a lot less deep to make it work with touch controls because of the nature
Yeah,
of
I think so.
touchscreen control, I think.
Yeah.
It's just a totally different
I agree
thing.
with
Yeah.
that.
So James, I think
gaming
added
news.
this
We got
story
Nintendo.
about Nintendo.
Oh, probably
Because-
because it's Nintendo and it's negative, right?
Yeah, I was gonna try to make it all positive gaming news with all the E3 stuff, but I think before James went into his hiatus, he decided to put some bad Nintendo news. So apparently they're closing their European office
Well,
and laying off. What?
Why did they have a European office?
Well, they're a global company. They got offices everywhere. They have Nintendo US, Nintendo EU, and then Nintendo of Japan. So they have all kinds of. They got different people working on different stuff.
No, they're blaming the Wii U again, though, aren't they? So.
Well, the Wii U is not selling
well,
well.
that makes sense.
I'm always
But-
puzzled by how they put so much focus on the Wii U. I mean, by doing that, it makes it obvious that they only have that one key method of making money. Because they've pulled back on the game. People have been saying for years that they were in trouble, and they kept on the brow. The DS3D and the DS2. Was it DS2D? That pointless version.
The
I think it's
2DS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then, and again, that same old story's come along again and again and again. The Nintendo need to start releasing their games on other platforms, and still they say no. So, do you think that's going to happen now?
No, not based
You know
on
what?
their
People
not
have
based
seen
on their
years.
E3 stuff.
It would be stupid to overreact now. Just 10 years ago, they launched the most profitable console of modern gaming history, the Wii, And they outsold everyone else by far. And they were also making more per unit sold than everyone else because the margins were so much better. They sold tons of games for that system. You know what? The 3DS isn't doing as well as the DS before it, but it's still beating anyone else out there. It's a shrinking market, but they're doing well. I'd say the Wii U is their biggest screw-up, but it's no worse a screw-up than the GameCube. So I think it'll be a while. But right now they've got Mario Kart out. That's going to drive sales for the next 3 years for the Wii U. I mean, the Smash Brothers is coming along. Some people are going to buy a Wii U just for that. And then there's a new Zelda game, which is going to drive a lot too. So is it going to be the runaway success of all time? No, they're more in GameCube mode now. We'll see what they do with the next one. Maybe. I don't know. I'm optimistic. Dave, you have some E3 updates from Nintendo, and it sounds like they're doing good stuff.
So I think Nintendo has the coolest stuff at E3. They didn't do a press conference like last year because the press conference cost a lot of money. So they put out a funny video basically.
Yeah.
Of had some robot chicken-esque animation in it, and it was really funny. So you should definitely watch the video. But they announced a lot of good stuff. They have a new Kirby game coming, a new Star Fox. They have a game called Mario Maker, which lets you make your own Mario levels, and presumably you can share them with other people and download them. They didn't explicitly say that. But
that's going to be huge. For decades, people have been hacking Super Mario Bros. 3 ROMs to make their own games. And now you're going to have an officially endorsed Nintendo way to do it, probably some kind of rating system, and you can just play Mario 2D games for the rest of your life. So,
yeah, and what looked really cool was you could actually, it looked like on the fly, you could change the look and the physics between like Mario like from the NES, and then you could change it to like the 3D the 3D looking 2D Marios, and the jump physics look like they changed when you changed that to those physics. So it looks like you can either make an old school Mario type of game or a new school Mario. They even showed like you can block Mario out of the castle at the end of the level when he gets the flag, and he just keeps walking into the wall, and then he eventually sits down on the ground angrily because he can't get to the castle. So that looks really cool. Obviously, the new Zelda looks gorgeous, like visually.
Looks amazing.
Yeah, that looks really good. So I mean, Nintendo's got a lot of stuff coming, but a lot of it's not coming until 2015. And the worry that a lot of people have is like, is the Wii U even gonna make it until 2015 with the way it's selling? But I think the 3DS will prop it up and give them enough money coming in to make it until all this big stuff hits.
They've got a lot of cash in the bank yet, too, don't they, though?
Yeah, they have a huge savings reserve, and they got Smash Brothers. You can't forget Smash Brothers on 2 platforms coming, which is going to be a big seller.
And you know what? They've already shut down the Wi-Fi connection for the old Smash Brothers, so people who've been playing Smash Brothers constantly for 5 years are just itching to get something new, and they're going to buy it. So, like, I don't think I worry about Nintendo yet. And it's not as though if the Wii U fails that these games just disappear. If they do decide to sell it on other platforms, they will, and they'll make a buttload of money that way. So I think they're going to be okay.
I think they'll try one more console before they go to anything rash, like jumping to making games on other platforms. I think they'll try another thing without the Wii in the name at all.
That they shouldn't have done the Wii U name. That was the biggest branding.
It's too confusing.
Yeah. People still think it's just a tablet you can buy to use with your Wii. Like, it was just the most confusing branding decision.
And they're like, why is it $300 for this add-on to my Wii? That's more than the Wii.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be cool. But then the other companies, they announced and showed some good stuff. Like, Destiny was obviously shown off heavily. That's the new Bungie game. Microsoft is doing a package of all 4 Halo games in one disc that comes with all the multiplayers intact from them, along with the single players, all up-resed for Xbox One graphics. So Sony showed off, obviously, a new Uncharted, and they also showed off what they call the Vita TV in Japan. It'll be called the PlayStation TV here. It's basically like an Apple TV for your TV.
Yeah.
And it lets you can stream your PlayStation 4 games to it, so you could have your PS4 like in your living room and have this thing in your bedroom and play your games over your local network in another room. So that's pretty cool.
So it's just like a little extender box kind of a thing?
Yeah. And but it also runs. You can also play Vita games on it, so you can download any Vita game that doesn't require the touchscreen or the rear touch pads to work. You can download those and play them on your TV. So that's pretty cool, and it's gonna be like $100.
So it's like a cheaper. I mean, you could just put another PlayStation in another room if you wanted to. But
right, but that's $400. This is $100.
Yeah, but you can't. If someone's using the PlayStation, obviously you wouldn't be able to use this, right?
Right. It's more like somebody wants to watch TV in your living room where your PS4 is, so you can go play the games in another room
without like unplugging the whole system.
And without,
interesting.
Plus, like I said, it's got its own games to play. It's got the Vita games on it, so you can play that, which is kind of cool.
Does it connect to Amazon and Netflix and all that?
I don't think they've gone into the specifics with the services, but I'm going to say that it will, and it'll also have their own video service on it, the Sony video thing. So, see, I would like to review this for Make Use of when it comes out, but I don't have a PS4, so that's going to be a problem.
No, you're just going to have to buy more consoles, Dave.
Yeah, without a PS4, you're kind of missing like the core functionality of the thing. So I don't know. But so E3's been pretty good. A lot of stuff, but a lot of stuff's coming in 2015. There's not a ton that was announced for this year, so that kind of sucks.
Is there any really big games we should look forward to that have been announced, or has it just been kind of
most of the stuff they've shown is stuff we've known about? Like they showed off Dragon Age. That No Man's Sky game that everybody like had a shit fit over when they showed it off at the VGX, which is like that procedurally generated flying game where you go like explore these planets and stuff like that. They showed like more gameplay of that, and everybody was like blown away by that. So that game is definitely one to keep an eye on, and it's from like a 4-man studio. So Scudderman is in the chat room saying that PlayStation Now sounds a lot like Steam streaming. I think that's a fair comparison. Yeah, but it sounds like with PlayStation Now, you have to like re-buy or rent these games. Steam streaming, you stream the games you already have.
Interesting. Christian, were you trying to say something?
No.
Oh, okay.
Christian hates video games.
Yeah, you're not a gamer, are you?
I'm not a gamer. I'm a frustrated gamer.
Frustrated gamer. Okay, why is that?
Because I really like playing games, but I just don't have the time to do it, basically.
I can totally relate to that.
So, I've been playing Grand Theft Auto on my Vice City on my Android this week. I even bought this to play it with.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Got a dedicate. Is it a Bluetooth? How's that work?
Yeah, it's a Moga. It's a Bluetooth. This is the lowest price version Moga. So like the phone sits in there.
Nice.
Like that.
And you like it?
Yeah, it does the job. Yeah, it's alright. The controls aren't great, but I'm putting that down to this being the portable version, like the travel version. It's a lot smaller, so I don't get quite as good action as I want, but it's good enough for playing Vice City. I actually got it because I wanted to play Turrican. Do you remember Turrican on the ST and the Amiga and the Commodore 64? It was this little guy who ran around shooting aliens.
Oh, yeah.
And a spaceship.
Awesome.
And
Do you have that on your phone now?
Yeah, I have that on my phone now. Yeah, and I could play that. I could complete that game with my eyes closed, back, like 20 years ago. And I was playing it on an emulator, and I couldn't get off the first level. And I was that far from smashing my phone to pieces. So I thought I need to do something about this quickly.
I'm gonna do a brief "What You've Been Using" segment here.
Hey, this wasn't on the outline.
No, it's not. But I've got an article about this coming up. I just submitted it. The jackass editor of the gaming section needs to get through it first. But I found this program called a Launchbox, and it lets you for PC add all of your games to one place and then see like box cover art, go through it, and launch them from there. So the cool thing is you can launch DOSBox games. You can launch your PC games. You can launch ROMs if you have an emulator set up with it. Like, there's lots of different places games can live on your computer if you have a lot of these things set up, and this puts it all in one place. So I've enjoyed using it a lot. So check it out. It's at launchbox-app.com right now. Look into it if you're interested in that sort of thing at all. I highly recommend it. It like imports metadata for all your games, and you can automatically import Steam games too, all in one go. And then you could even if you don't do emulators, you could have all your Steam and regular games in one place with a quick way to launch them.
Can I launch my Xbox games through it, Justin?
If you have an emulator for your Xbox.
What if I want to click a button and then have it turn my Xbox on and launch the game, like magic?
I don't think that happens yet, but if there's a way to do that with the command line, you could probably get Launchbox to do it.
Fuck this program then. Get it out of my face.
It's for PC games, dude. What's wrong with
game?
What? Your mom's a PC game.
No, she's my mom. She's a human.
Your mom's a piece of DLC for a PC game no one liked.
Ow, which game?
Yeah, I don't even know. I don't know anything about games. Shut up.
Duke Nukem Forever.
Yeah, your mom's a piece of DLC for Duke Nukem Forever.
Nice. Hey, speaking of something bad games, the Angry Video Game Nerd movie is finally done, and they're doing screenings of it this summer in various places around the country.
So wait, the central premise of this was that he was going to try to find the buried E.T. games in the desert, and now someone else found them, so...
Well, I don't think he was actually looking for them, though.
I know.
He was looking for them in front of a green screen.
Yeah. Well, that's cool. We'll see if that comes out.
Yeah, he's doing one in Pennsylvania in August and one in New York City in September, so I'm probably going to go to one of those screenings.
Scudderman says you could hook up a button to a sound file that says Xbox on. So you could, with this game thing, just have it link instead of to the executable for the game. Just point it to a sound file that's you saying Xbox on, open this game.
What about my 360? Got him. Got him. Done. Game blouses. I win.
I like the idea, though. Scudderman's winning the chat room today. Scudderman, good job.
I hate you, Scudderman.
Yeah. Well, I think that's an episode of Technophilia, but what we do need to do yet is talk about the giveaways. Dave, do you know what's going on the site this week? MakeUseOf.com is giving away some stuff. What's up?
Nothing new is actually launched. I think Jackson fell asleep or something.
Okay. He's had to meet with me this week for a variety of reasons, so I've been wasting his time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, there's been no... We had an app giveaway for Camera Plus, but I think that ended today or yesterday. Other than that, there's been no new hardware giveaways launched on the site, so that means there's going to be a poop load of them coming at the end of the month, though, because we still have the certain amount that we have to get out every month. So in the next couple weeks, expect to see some big ones, including the the $1,800 gaming laptop, which I'm turning into Jackson tomorrow, so that should be up like maybe Monday.
Mm-hmm.
So that one obviously is one you're going to want to enter, but that's also obviously going to be one that's going to get a crap ton of entries, so it's not going to have like high chance of winning. But hey, you never know. You might get lucky and win almost a $2,000 laptop for free.
There you go. So subscribe at makeuseof.com to see those updates and stuff about the show here too.
Faux shizzle.
Do it. I want to thank Christian today for joining us in James's absence. It's been a lot of fun, man.
Yeah, it's no problem. It's nice to be here for a change.
When Justin leaves, we have a Canadian to replace him, and when James leaves, we have a British man to replace him. What about when I leave? Who's the American to replace me?
Do we have any American replacements? I don't know,
think
man.
So.
I don't know. Who would we get? I don't know. I mean, we need an American to replace Dave. That's a good point.
I've only missed like one episode though, and that was because I overslept. So
yeah, I forgot about that.
And there was no time to get a replacement on that one anyway.
I was a little worried about how well I'd be able to fit in for James, because I'm not sardonic or extremely sort of left-wing liberal enough to properly stand in for James, I don't think.
You know what, though? I think James shows up next week, and he's going to be completely different, you guys. He's going to be like, oh, you know what? These petty squabbles we have about the internet are just superficial compared to the amazing experience of bringing a new life into the world. I don't care for these things so much anymore.
He's gonna come back and love Nintendo, hate Oculus.
Yeah, he's gonna be like, you know what? Nintendo's making child-friendly games, and I realize now that that's really hard to find on some of these other platforms. Yeah, he's just gonna be a totally different person because that's what fatherhood does. Yeah, he's gonna be really mellow. We're like, well, what do you think about piracy? Well, now that I think about it, my son might want to work in the entertainment industry someday, and for that option to be open for him, he's going to need to get paid for it. Yeah, you wait. You mark my words. James is going to be totally different next week.
Wait, we don't know it's a son yet, do we?
Oh, I thought we knew it was a son. We don't know. We're going to find out everything. So James has so far just left a message on our chat room internally and said, I am a daddy. And that's it. So we don't know. We don't know.
And then everybody said, is there a name? We need details, blah, blah, blah. And James just said, I'm too busy trying to take care of this living, breathing human being that is attached to my DNA. Although the kid's probably not even home yet, right? I mean, don't they usually stay in the hospital for a couple days? Depends.
If they're fit and healthy, they often go home the same day, especially here in the UK.
Oh, I didn't know that. Well, seeing that it's James's baby, I don't know how fit it's going to be. I'm sure it'll be healthy, but...
James is fit. He does stuff. It's you guys are giving James far too much
credit. He'll come back angrier because now he'll be tired.
You know what's bullshit? Children.
He'll be grumpy and tired. So
he'll be getting 5 hours of sleep for the next 5 hours of sleep a night for the next 6 months. So I would imagine he'll probably be quite grumpy.
If you want to participate in the show, please join us next week. makeuseof.tv/live. We broadcast 6 o'clock UK time. It is 1 in the afternoon US time, and if you live in Colorado, which you really should, it's going to be 11 in the morning UK time, not UK, just time. I don't know what I'm saying. You can find out when the show's happening by following us on the Twitters at The Technophilia. You'll also read clever comments occasionally from me, pretending to represent the entire podcast, but really revealing that it's me, because I make fun of James a lot. Do I have to stop doing that now? No, you can make fun of Dad.
Make fun of him more.
Yeah, okay.
Koshi says that James said he was having a son at some point.
He did. I do think he said he was having a son, yeah.
Did he know that for certain, though, or was that just like a guess?
There are ways to find out pretty definitively. So I'm pretty sure if he knows.
Yeah, but some people don't. You know, they want the surprise. They want to come out and be like, "Oh my God, it's a penis!" Or, "No, it's not.
It's a baby."
Yeah, let's start the after show, ladies and gentlemen. What should we pick for the art? Let's do this. I'm trying to remember the name of your Penguin movie.
Do I have to do the art again, or are you doing the art again?
If we're doing this Penguin thing, and I think we should, I think it can be me.
All right, good.
I gotta find. So, which movie were you playing off of there?
I don't remember. Wait, what happened with penguins?
It was a Captain America parody involving a Linux.
Oh, it was Captain Linux, Norwegian something?
What was it, Christian?
Captain Linux and the Norwegian soldier.
Captain Linux, Norwegian soldier. Okay.
This that sounds like something that would be a thing.
I have
Okay.
to admit, I don't actually know what's happening now.
Okay, so now we do the after show. So this
Right.
isn't going to be part of the podcast.
Okay.
And we try to pick the art. We try to pick the name of the episode.
Oh, right, I see, yeah. Well,
And then I
you're still transmitting.
Photoshop something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So sorry for that. So we get contributions from the chat room here, and we try to think of the best line. I think the current winner would be Captain Linux, American soldier, or Norwegian soldier.
Norwegian soldier.
Yeah.
Captain Linux and the Norwegian soldier. That would be.
Yeah. So we got to find the right picture here. I'm gonna do some screen sharing here so we can go through it. I mean, that's pretty good. I can't imagine thinking of something better. But if the chat room does, I'm going to respect that and go with whatever they come up with. But I need to find something pretty photoshoppable here. Man, Captain America just looks so vanilla, doesn't he?
Well, he's from the 1940s, of course he is.
Yeah, I guess so, yeah. These are all so stylized. I think it's kind of hard to... Oh, wait, we can get, like, the shield. Let's just get the Captain America shield.
Yeah, you're going to be sick with that shield, that one there, exactly. That's exactly the one I was looking at.
And just get a symbol like this. We just gotta make it Linuxy, right? So which one should I go with? Like the stylized one? I should go with something simple maybe, huh?
Something that looks like it's from the film.
Something that looks like it's from the film, like this one here.
Like one of those, discs on an angle kind of thing.
And then I gotta make it just
It
change
looks a bit
the colors.
dirty. Well, no, you get rid of the star and stick a penguin in it.
Yeah, okay. See what we can do that. Oh man. What did I just find?
Unless you can get a Tux holding a shield.
We get Tux just holding Captain America's shield.
Is this going to be legal?
Oh, I'm going with the parody satire clause. I think that's fine. We got to get a badass tux. Well, let's see if there's already a Captain America tux.
So did you guys know that?
Why did I even ask? There is one.
If you have a Xbox Live Gold account, Dark Souls is free this month.
Oh wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So we
Dark
could just
Souls
go
is
with
hard.
this guy here, guys.
What?
Someone made it already.
This seems like double stealing.
That's double stealing.
We're pirating their pirate.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the movie poster here. I'm gonna get a nice badass tux. Someone using TweetDeck? Is that what I just heard?
Yep, that was me.
Isn't it like completely compromised today?
Is it?
They
Yeah.
tweeted that TweetDeck was hacked and they were taking it down, but
This is
I'll turn that off then.
but if you're using it, then it must not be down anymore.
Ladies and gentlemen, our security expert.
Yes. That one didn't pop up. I haven't had my feed on all day because today's a kind of. I have days where I don't look at my feed because I have days when I don't work all day. So just.
Oh, okay.
That's my excuse. I'm
Is
sticking
this
to.
your not working day?
I was daddy this morning.
You're daddy this morning. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's it like? What should James prepare himself for? As he ventures.
Well, he should prepare himself. Well, I mean, he's not going to get as bad as I got it because we had twins. But
twins,
essentially, he's going to have nighttime feeds. Mrs. James is going to be quite tired for the first week or so as well.
Yeah.
So he's going to be getting up in the middle of the night and feeding young Bruce, and then trying to go back to sleep and then waking up again a few minutes later, that kind of thing. And it'll be a cycle of that, and he'll need to get plenty of sleep and try and remain calm, essentially, in the face of adversity.
Yeah, I can't imagine. My mom told me that when she was my age, she had 5 kids already.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking, like, that doesn't even seem like she did a great job. I'm going to say that up front, but it doesn't seem legal that I should be allowed to be responsible for someone's life, because I do not feel as though I'm ready for that kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it just seems wrong. But I guess at some point you just got to do it, right?
Yeah, I think so. In more ways than one, really.
Yeah.
I'll tell you very much.
Well done.
I see what you did there.
Clever. Okay, so we got Captain America's shield here. And I think I'm just going to try to put Tux behind it, if that makes sense. So I'm going to get, like, as much of the shield as possible without the movie poster, right? And then what we want is we want this area here to just have Tux's face sticking up. I think. What do you think about that?
It looks pretty.
Yeah? Okay. Okay. So I'm going to get at the layers tool here. I got to get my proper select tool. Yeah, I'm going to use the quick select. There we go. There we go. Yes. So that's gone. Now we got to get a nice image of Tux here. And we got to find just the silliest looking Tux possible, right? I don't want the standard one. Yeah, I want this guy. I want this guy here.
No, the Karate Kid one. I think I'm going to go for the Karate Kid one.
You want the Karate Kid one? I mean, we just got a little corner here for him to stick up in. So we could move it a little. Okay. Let's look over here. Oh, I like this guy. I think if it's a cute one, it's a little more weird. What are you up to, chat room? Look, you're on the feed. You're famous now. Still racist. What?
What's that all about?
What did we say? I forget. Are we racist? I forget.
We probably failed the
show. We talk about Russians or something.
Are the Russians a race now?
We're all white. That's what it is.
We are all white.
So we're the Russians, though, notably. Oh, this is going to be awesome, you guys.
Is it Dave Parrick in the chat room?
He never uses his real name, so it can be tricky to...
No, I know, yeah, so... work out who it is. He may come forward now.
Maybe. Since we changed time slots, he's been around a little less.
I see.
Uh-oh. Okay, I'm just going to get out the eraser for this mess here. Oh, no.
Oh, that's cool. That looks good.
Yeah, I see, and I just got to give it a little shadow, and I got to get some kind of background behind it there, I think. This is the funnest part of the show for me. I should just do a just in Photoshop stuff for you show.
You won't do it.
No, I never will. I have plenty of good ideas I will never, ever do. I gotta get the eraser back out. Kind of fuzzy it up a little there. Yeah, see, look how adorable he looks. That's the Norwegian soldier. Right. Now we gotta get like a cool background, I guess, behind him. What do you think?
uTorrent client downloading torrents. Or a screenshot of popcorn time.
Okay, yeah. Do you have popcorn time on your computer?
I think they just have a screenshot on their website if you just steal one.
Oh, that's probably the best idea.
It's probably easier than me taking one, opening it, taking one, sending it to you.
Yeah, I'm sure they're not going to mind us. I don't see a screenshot here. Wow, they've got no screenshots on their site.
What the deuce?
I don't know.
Google it then. Google that popcorn time screenshot.
Oh, now I'm stealing someone else's screenshot with a video showing me do it.
That's fine. No one will notice.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, you wait. It's friggin' how-to geeks watching the show.
You stole somebody's...
Stop screen time. Popcorn time screenshot. Not pop screen time. I don't know what I was doing. Okay. I'd feel a lot more comfortable if you just sent me a screenshot, dude.
Alright, it's gonna take a minute though.
Yeah, that's fine.
I can do it.
I can think of something else. Do you want to take off, Christian?
I don't know if I have the latest version of Popcorn Time, but I don't think that matters, right?
No, I just want a bunch of movie posters, basically.
You're a movie poster, but then everyone in the world will know that I used Popcorn Time.
To download Linux.
They'll think Justin did.
Layer style. Shadow, except people are watching this, and this is on YouTube. Okay, so we want to give the shield a little bit of a shadow here, so I'm going to go like that.
I clicked on it and it didn't open.
Well, then there's nothing you can do.
And then it takes a couple of moments to initialize.
Oh, let's just find a good Linux wallpaper.
Yeah, this doesn't seem to be working. Probably because I have an old-ass version of it. So it's.
I'm just going to grab the default Ubuntu wallpaper, because I know it's free to use.
Free to use is the best kind of way to use things. It's free and you can do it. And the world is your friend.
James is not here to slap you. In which Justin abuses the quick select tool again and again and again.
I just sent you a grab if you want it.
Of Popcorn Time?
Yeah.
Well, let's see what we like. Of course, now I'm revealing the terrible, not transparent stuff I've got here. Where is it, dude?
Oh, Popcorn Time opened.
I've already emailed him a screenshot.
Well, do you want my screenshot or what do you want?
I want both.
My screenshot's newer. Although technically speaking, if you send yours over, yours would be newer because I've already done mine and sent it.
I hate you.
How long have you been a dad, Christian?
3 years on Friday next week.
Oh, wow.
Too long.
No, that's not right. No, 3 years. 3 years. Oh, Christ. Am I going on holiday this week or next week? I have no idea what's happening now. Yeah, 2 weeks. Nearly 3 years.
Wow. Okay, this needs to be way bigger.
You're telling me.
Don't let the children hear this. They'll be like, Daddy, you can't even remember our birthday.
Yeah. They're going to be pissed.
I can remember their birthday, I just don't know what day it is. That's a problem. Wow, there are so many cool films that I really want to watch on Popcorn Time, but I have absolutely no intention of doing so.
Everything is on the popcorn.
Oh, I won't be watching that tonight.
No, you won't, because it's illegal, and you shouldn't.
No, that's right, no. I have absolutely no intention of watching Oculus.
Oculus? There's a movie called Oculus?
Yeah, there's a movie called Oculus, yeah. It's a... it's Karen Gillan from Doctor Who's in it.
Okay.
She's the Scottish ginger girl, who's very, very tall. And it's a horror movie about this mirror. That's about as much as I know. I actually don't like horror movies. I probably won't be watching that one. I don't do horror movies. Unless the sci-fi horror.
There we go. Now we just got to give it our title. How's that look, guys?
Hang on. Oh, groovy.
Yeah? Should I blur the movie titles a bit?
Yeah, probably.
Like that. Make it so you can still kind of see what they are. There we go.
Yeah,
I have not spent this much time on art for a while, so... Okay.
Higher class art today.
So what was it? Captain Linux.
And the Norwegian soldier.
Okay. Good one, Christian. You win the title.
Thank you. Thank you.
Contest. Yeah.
Captain Linux. I thought it was and the Norwegian soldier.
Yeah, it
No,
should
no,
be-
no. Captain Linux is the. It's like Captain America.
No. The movie is
Well, the
and
movie's
the
Anza,
Winter Soldier.
isn't it?
It's what?
It's and the in the movie.
Oh, got it.
The
Got it.
Winter
So,
Soldier is the bad guy, and Captain Linux is the
See, I
good
don't watch movies. I'm so done with superhero movies. I don't know how you feel.
Well, hey! I just want to stop you there. Because
Yeah.
Justin is absolutely right. I have just used the Wikipedia, and it is Captain America: the Winter Soldier.
All right.
Well,
No,
there you go.
I was with you, Dave. I totally thought it was Anza, but no, it's not. It's got a
I
colon.
You know what? That fits better anyways. So. Wow. I
You
made an
missed-
excuse
you
for why I was
spelled
wrong.
Norwegian wrong, though.
Of course I did. But right now I'm doing a drop shadow. Norway's not a real place. You can spell it however you want. It's like Narnia. There's no Norway. Okay, so how's Norwegian spelled, dude?
You've got the I in the wrong place.
Is that it?
Yeah, that's all.
I just typed it into Google to figure out how it's spelled, and I spelled it right that time. So must have just been I can't see because Photoshop's weird, sort of a thing. Now Photoshop has decided that I don't want to have my... There we go. The Norwegian Soldier. And what episode is this? Is this 117?
Yeah.
Okay.
You still haven't changed it. The I's in the same place still.
Did I?
The I should be after the G, not before.
You know what I did is it was before the E. I moved it to after it. So I did change it, just not correct.
Norwegian soldier.
Right. There we go.
Yay.
Copy that layer style. Paste that layer style. There we go. I think that's art. I know it's not as good as yours recently. I know fans would probably prefer it if Dave was still doing it.
Oh, you mean like my bad art?
Your bad art's better than my not as bad art.
My art is bad.
It's so wonderfully bad, though. There we go. Captain Linux, the Norwegian soldier. So stupid.
Captain
love
Linux
it.
and the Norwegian butt pirates. Wait, that's not it.
What are you doing? No, we're done, okay? The art's done. And I
What?
think... Chat room, I should see what you're saying. I don't even know. I've been photoshopping. 16.
It's all quite scary, to be honest with you.
What is the chat room?
I'm scared of the chat room.
Why is that?
As you should be.
Well, if I ever watch live, I can't keep up with the show and the chat room at the same time. So if I spend a few moments in the chat room, it just becomes completely oblique because it's like one-word phrases regarding whatever it is you're talking about. So then if I flip back, I miss the chat room. So I go back to the chat room and it still doesn't make any sense at all.
Yeah, because it's too much at once, right?
Yeah.
I think the people in the chat room aren't actually listening to the show the way the people who do the audio version, right? But we've got this feedback problem because the people in the chat room are the only ones who tell us what they like about the show, right? But they're not actually listening to the show. They're like talking to each other because that's way more fun than like actually
listening to us, yeah.
Yeah. Art's on the Slack. Is
Art's
James
on your back. Oh wait, with James not here, how are we gonna make this into an episode?
I don't know.
I have no idea how.
I think he downloads it from
then-
like using a YouTube
But then
downloader
how
tool.
do we make it into like a podcast that people download and stuff? I have no idea.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. So maybe it might be a little delayed.
Yeah, might be delayed on the audio version, but we'll figure it out. At some point, I'm sure James will be around, and then we can talk to him and ask him.
Okay, right.
Yep.
I don't know. I know. You know, we're done with the main podcast, and I'm kind of loath to invoke James in his absence. But this, do you guys ever get support queries through your Facebook accounts?
Like just randomly?
Yeah.
From people? I get emails because my email address is like at the top of the about page for makeuseof.com.
Yeah.
So I get. You know, I talked about this a couple months ago on the show, but I get people emailing me support questions as though I am Facebook. Like, they email me, and they're like, you know what, I was really loving your service, Facebook, and then you changed this. You can do better, Facebook. And I'm just like, I'm not Facebook. Why do you think I'm Facebook? And I write them back, like, hey, I hate that Facebook made this change too, but I don't work for Facebook. I don't represent Facebook in any way. I write for a website that sometimes talks about Facebook. Why do you think I'm Facebook? And they're like, well, it was on one of their pages. Your email address was like one of the Facebook's contacts. So it was like 3 people within 1 week, so I don't know what happened there. Maybe Facebook has a policy of like just putting random bloggers on their contact us page. I don't know. But so you get random tech support requests.
Well, it's just the first time I've got one. Just now, it's just come up just now. Some guy couldn't get his ice cream sandwich installed and his HTC HD2 to work. I'm really, really sorry, and if he's watching, I'm really, really sorry that that's not working for you, but I'm not supporting you through Facebook. Email me at Make Use Of, and I might, but I'm not supporting you through Facebook.
The best way to get support is to go to Make Use Of Answers, put it there.
Yeah, exactly.
And then maybe email us if you want, because we don't get paid to, like, answer emails.
No.
Maybe you don't, I do.
Oh, you do? See, that's the problem. I got to renegotiate my contract. But I still answer the emails, you know, because, I don't know, these people need help. And it makes me feel good. I usually just end up Googling it and pointing them to it, right?
Makes me feel good.
Yeah, that's all I can do. What else do? I just respond, hey, I'm not getting paid to do this, jerk. Go away.
Just ignore their emails.
No, then they email back, and they're like, why aren't you listening to me? And then I feel even worse.
Shoot them.
Wow, is that what you're doing with your email?
Yeah, I shoot the emails.
Shoot the emails.
Oh, you said
Well,
shoot,
thanks everyone for listening.
And watching.
I think we're going to wrap this up. I'm going to have some lunch. Have a good rest of your evening, Christian.
Yeah, you too. Thanks for having me, and I'll speak to you tomorrow, Justin.
Bye,
Yes.
everyone.
Bye.